wish it would say when it's live. It just says preparing.
Good is.
All right, it's throwing it now. All right, y'all. Peace and greetings to y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at Northwestern Mexico. How are you? Guys, you guys already know I'm here with our magnificent brother and whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Alimel. And we're going in for AstroCivics Sunday number 64 for our Holy Koran Devotional Countdown. Look, guys, we're at chapter 10 now, right? Just enjoying the fact that we're consistent. Enjoying the fact that, you know, we are honoring Prophet Noble Drew Ali, honoring Charles Mosley Bey, and being able to just be consistent and stay consistent. Still in trying times, Dean Morse, where people are looking to take charge of the situation, you know? There's a lot of people out here who are coming across, you know, knowing about their nationality and birthrights or whatever. It's like they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's like they don't want to recognize Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It's interesting because we know next day, which is the 8th January 2024, is Prophet Noble Drew Ali's solar return. And I just think it's really amazing that still there are people out there who are recognizing that they're Moors, Moorish American, Al-Moroccan descendants, however, but they still carry this Negro, Black, colored, African American, Indian, nigger mindset, this fictitious mindset. And it's because they have not studied. And I'm just grateful and thankful that I am a brother that has set the example, especially for my brothers. And I'm open for correction. Brother Sean can be like, you know, nah, man, that's incorrect. And I'm open for correction. That I allow myself to study, meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature. Because there's a lot of people out here who are pushing that, you know, you have these beings out here who are like, well, the Sybil is the prophetess. And you know, we got to be the prophetess, the Sybil or whatever. And it's like these people are they don't want to give Prophet Noble Drew Ali the credit. You know what I mean? And the reason they don't want to give Prophet Noble Drew Ali this credit is because they want to take charge of the situation. And this is why I'm very grateful and thankful that we read both letters to be read in every meeting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm very thankful and grateful that we take the time to read both letters that are to be read in every meeting, because it is a constant reminder of self needing to watch out for self. All right. But I'm not going to monologue, you know, for a long duration. I'm just saying that I am very grateful and thankful for the decisions that I've made pertaining to this knowledge and information. Period. That's it. That's all. You have a lot of beings out here who are just simply retarded. But they think they're completely right. They want to try to still, you know, attach to those that use the names that delude to slavery to try to still seem like there are people and things of that nature, which when you really kind of just leave the people alone for a while to take time to study amongst yourself, meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, what you realize is that a lot of people are missing the mark, because what they're doing is they're just doing their own rendition of what they thought Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought. And those people that are doing their rendition, then they then they disrespect Prophet Noble Drew Ali by calling him a dead man who people are riding his phallus. And just that type of speech, that type of languaging right there just goes to show that dead people say dead things. And the ones that are dead, the only dead man, which means a dead mind, would be the ones saying those type things. It would be the ones that are trying to push the, oh, well, the mothers are the real prophets. And this is like, okay, whichever mother is in order, well studied, has brought herself back to the full knowledge and information pertaining to our ancient foremothers and forefathers' mindset so that our days are long upon the earth land without having that Negro black colored attitude, that boom quisha, shenane, shaniqua kind of attitude. Look, wherever that mother exists, I'm pretty sure the world is ready. There's mothers out there who are very kind and they speak in an intelligent tone, you know what I'm saying? But I still have yet, and I'm saying this respectfully, and no disrespect to anyone, which mothers out there has done the work that Prophet Noble Drew Ali has done? And I get it. What I'm saying can make people sensitive. I'm not being rude or mean. I'm saying, why aren't we recognizing what's more important instead of singling out what mothers do and what brothers do? Why don't we just focus on the unity based on the divine literature that's been prepared? I mean, thoughts, Brother Sean, before we get started?
Correct, yeah, because there is a lot of things, if you want to call those distractions. We have these debates, we have all these different things to promote disunity when people love to talk about the problems, but there's really no real solution to resolve these problems that we're having. And where these problems are stemming from is the political, social, and economic hardships that we're all enduring, and also from other people not really knowing themselves. So, it's kind of really just coming back to loving oneself rather than feeling like inferior, holding on to all these things that have been done. Why not repent and now move on with a new mindset rather than, well, they did this to me 5, 10 years ago, so I'm still going to hold on to this and keep a victim mindset when that happened 5, 10 years ago or whatever it is. This is here in the now. Why are we not coming with resolutions to solve these problems? Why are we not picking people who actually like us rather than trying to do things to get someone to like us for some kind of recognition or praise or whatever is going on? It's more things that are needed to be talked about rather than baby mamas, baby daddies, celebrities, cultures, and all these other things, when at the end of the day they're are resources and necessities that we all need so that we can be secure and attain to our highest spiritual selves rather than going over pointless debates and beating people down. When we are all here on earth, we all need each other, we're all connected, like we all need each other to be of service to each other. And it's time to really put a lot of those things away. And just the thing with the whole social media thing, like, I'm not sure when that took a left, but it never used to really be like that. But we know things will change. It used to be a vibe. You post your food, you post what you're doing, some knowledge, and now you have agents getting paid. You have those who now have a platform to spew off their hate and everything else, and folks love controversy. Controversy sells. They will show up more than that and feel good about seeing somebody else talked about or this and that, and they still have their own sums to solve. And we're all solving our own sums. It could be over though if we come together, leave the slavery terms alone, and realize that we are all one people. We all need the same thing. We all breathe the same air, eat food, need these things in order to progress through our day. So it's like leave all the extra stuff alone. Like y'all talk about, oh, 2024, I'm doing this and doing that, but it's still gonna be the same year, same shit. You know, are you really bettering yourself, taking yourself serious, looking to do, you know, the healing work and the studies to better yourself from the things that you did last sun cycle, last year? Or are you going to be still doing the same things, just talking about it, but really not actually putting in work? And then you realize, man, I've been still doing the same shit for 5 years, you know, putting on a front. Like for me, I've constantly continued to want to better myself, you know, through each day, each year, you know, and you know, I had to step away from a lot of things, and I think people are afraid to be alone, you know, with their own thoughts, so they rather fill themselves and surround themselves with people and things so that they don't have to really answer to themselves because they're scared of themselves. They don't want to look at themselves and, you know, have this responsibility and accountability that's needed first and foremost for us and in our communities. You know, at one video, he's like, you know, rape's not cool, and that we go to these services and show up to these events and, you know, get a necessary high and then go back home and do the same thing. Like, this is something every day we should be standing up for, fighting for, realizing that nobody's coming to save us but us, working with other men, women, mothers, and sons all across the board. Um, yeah, and the hate needs to be let go. It really does. Some self-reflection and, you know, just kind of letting go of things. You might not even know that you're holding on to some things. So really allow yourselves to love yourself. Um, and it's funny in seeing Bed Talking Destiny, he's like, I have no point in speaking about a God no one has seen when people hate each other that they do see. You know, and just if you have hate in your heart, let it out, man. And, you know, really just realize that we all play some part, some role in whatever fashion. So allow yourselves to really do that transformation and change like you want to do, like you say you will, and not leave it to somebody else to really do it for you. Or wait till, you know, Seven Hill Star figures it out and does it. And now that we're popular and cool, now y'all want to come along and say, hey, and all that. And it's like, yo, if a fire, you know, if a building is on fire, are you just going to stand there and complain about the fire? Or are you actually going
Correction.
to get some fucking water and help out rather than
Correction.
do it?
We've been popular. We've been cool. People
Yeah.
have been gleaning from us for years because of the way we actually think about and speak about an ancient mindset that makes it palatable enough for the people to then try to create their own classes and platforms and things of that nature. We are the greatest known unknown. We really are. And it's funny because I know some people, when they hear me speak like this, they're like, oh, he's so full of himself. No, a lot of people wouldn't even be speaking or saying certain words that they say how they say it if it wasn't for Seven Hill Star. I mean, we're the best. What you expect? I mean, come on, man. I yield, bro.
Yeah, yeah, we, you know, been popular, but it really just comes to um kind of leaving a lot of things alone that's really not helping. But you know, people are gonna do what they do. You know, this is not a slight, a punch on no one, but are we really about fixing our problems and solving our sums together? Because, you know, love thy neighbor, person, you know, next to you, person non-statutorily speaking, you know, could be going through something that needs some help, but you'll you know, overlook that. But you know, it's like we're all going through something. We should all be here for each other, and encourage,
Correct.
you know, encouraging each other rather than looking to use our feelings of inferiority and hate and everything else to beat down when we should be looking to be in our higher selves, being our best selves. My yield,
Yeah,
bro.
most people can't do what we've done, bro. We collectively speaking, right? So-called consumed, absorbed what brother Tariq Bey, Mother Roz Mariah Bey, many other active Moors have presented, right? C. Freeman L, of course, right? These are the only few appellations that I'm willing to say. But there are other active Moors that have, in some way, shape, or form, at one point in time when they were in principle of love may have worked alongside who appellations I have, listed. And what we've done was be so consistent with what they've shared, right? I mean, look what's behind me. And really absorb those things and continue to go into them, that I think that there's an envy and jealousy for seven heel stars so large that the universe allows us to be so consistent that it's like no matter how many Johnny come latelys come about, Seven Hill Star still has this tortoise pace and consistency. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're at about what, 470 videos now? Just on YouTube alone. You know what I mean? Like, that's not including what is available for the eleemosynary tuition via Seven Heel Star. I mean, it's just classes everywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we are an inspiration. We are the inspiration. You wouldn't have your 119 keys and your this Spiza Islam, whatever stuff type guy. You wouldn't have these people if it wasn't for Prophet Noble Drew, which then inspires Charles Mosley Bey to be who he already was. And then to bring other sincere Moorish Americans, of course, Emil and the other brothers that are on the authority, Foreman Bay, Small Bay, Lovett Bay. Then, Brother Todd sharing how he shares information without, getting involved in micromanaging how, Moors conduct themselves. And Mother Roz being able to provide at least a website and a means for us to get, some things, even though, Moors have not yet grown industrially in a way where the social economic issues have been solved, because there's so much independent industrialist energy that's happening, right? And then, then there's us, Seven Heel Star. And it's funny because I know a lot of these Johnny come latelys, they want to be us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many videos online, especially with myself. They're teaching with Brother Taj. It's quite a bit. It's quite an amount. You hear my voice in a lot of videos. So that makes a lot of jealousy and envy just come to the surface to a lot of people. When what it should have done is motivated us to work together more, to be able to solve our social and economic issues more. And what I just see continuing to happen is that people are further losing their minds, man. And I'm just so thankful and grateful to be within the circle of protection. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just ready to do this thing. It's interesting too, because we had our astrology concept correction discussion yesterday. And shout out to Brother Corey Stampley Day, right? Which is different from our Brother Corey, the Exalted Cyclops. Brother Corey Stampley Day asked the question, because we know we're still experiencing it. It's a Kadashi fast still until about 2:16 Eastern, 1:16 Central today, right? And in asking about that, we were able to go in depth on the Kadashi fast and looked at H.G. Amarendradas presentation on the Kadashi fast. And it's like, man, I am so grateful and thankful that we have the mindset that we have, bro, because we're able to really take advantage respectively and responsibly of a lot of this knowledge and information that I'm seeing a lot of people are struggling to assimilate, bro. They are struggling, bro. And we are not. We are not. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a very, very beautiful thing. So let's just jump into this. Brother Sean's going to lead us in on the invocation, and I'm just going to go and share the screen right now, right? And take us to Moor's Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions, pages 48 and 49. We see where we are. And on page 48, handsomely standing due guard in his Moor Sharif Fez and Abbas, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And on here, page 48, we will be going over, and Brother Sean will be leading us in with our invocation in turn, the Moorish American prayer. And man, people are just missing out. Maybe it's only meant for just a few of us, man. Right? It's only a few faithful Moors that can be counted on one hand with fingers left over, I guess. I don't know. But anyway. Anywho, guys, you can extend all 5 appendages on the left hand just to index the middle on the right. You want to hold them up, stand on a 45-degree angle like you see Prophet Noble Drew Ali's feet there. We want to face east, which is symbolic, metaphysically, to going within. And you can repeat after Brother Sean either aloud or in your hearts. Islam?
Islam.
Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. All right, guys. Actually, I just realized maybe I was supposed to do that, but it's all good. All righty, the following letter is written. Pardon me. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, Anno Domini, 1928 Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Moor Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue, Noble Drew Ali founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929, to be proclaimed in every meeting, dear brother Islam. I'm glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that pay their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. This is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and the divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause, Noble Drew Ali. And now we're going to excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, which is termed the Moorish Literature. And on page 12, we see handsomely standing due guard in his Moorish Sharif Fez and Abba again, his Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And on page 13, we're going to yield the floor to Brother Sean Ali now. Islam.
Islam. Divine warning by the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim. Governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Islam. So, guys, we're here for chapter 10. Jesus spake on the unity of Allah and man to the Hindus. Yahshua spake unto the unity pertaining to all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac and mind to those that have shelter near the river Sindh. That's one way it could be looked at, right? It's that Easterly thought, right? All right, so by using your screen as a monitor, Brother Sean, I think I'll do that and just have it like that, all right? So in normal fashion, guys, Brother Sean's going to be doing the reading. I'm going to be doing the ha-ha, yeah, serious member type of ad-libbing, right? So this is going to be 28 minutes within degree 10 or 28 verses in chapter 10 for those that need to hear it that way. And remember, guys, when you see the names of anthropomorphic characters and places, do a Google search, right? Type that so-called quote-unquote name, that metaphysical name, and then put origin and meaning behind it and search. And then see if some of these things are also in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore, so that you can be able to get the science pertaining to ultimate reality type of experience when it comes to this, so that you're not stuck in dogma belief system and arrogance. All righty? So let's knock this out. By the time we're done this, the Ekadashi TT fast will be complete. Ekadashi Upavas will be complete. All right? 15 minutes now. And I yield the floor to our beloved brother, whom will well please, Brother Sean Ali Islam.
Islam. All right, here we go. 1. Benares is the sacred city of the Brahms. And in Benares, Jesus taught. Udraka was his host.
So funny. Ben Ayres looks like the son of Aries, or Aries' son. Or is it the son in Aries? Anyway, is that like bright thinking, bright thought? Okay. What is Udraka? Right? Right? It's interesting. What would that be? Maybe that's some homework. I yield, bro. Islam.
Udraka made a feast in honor of his guest, and many high-born Hindu priests and scribes were there.
Look at that. Looky. All during the Ekadashi fast. Look at what chapter we're on during the Ekadashi Upavas. Okay, I yield.
And Jesus said to them with much delight, I speak to you concerning life, the brotherhood of life.
I yield.
The universal Allah is one, yet he is more than one. All things are one.
Wow, that sounds like mentalism. That sounds like the seventh Hermetic principle, number 1. It sounds like number 1 in the 7 Hermetic principles. Go ahead, I yield.
Right. By the sweet breath of Allah, all life is bound in one. So if you touch a fiber of a living thing, you send a thrill from the center to the outer bounds of life.
Islam.
And when you crush beneath your foot the meanest worm, you shake the throne of Allah and cause the sword of life to tremble in its sheath. The bird.
Ooh, to the wee wee. All right, I yield. I want to say this. There's always, you always see how there's always some type of something getting crushed under the heel of someone. That shows up a lot. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Ophiuchus's foot under the stinger of Scorpio when looking at the constellations. I think it's also in the constellation Hercules. I think that too has. I think his foot is over top of someone else's head. Also, you'll see that this is referring to celestial picture writings. Also, I just wanted to point that out. Go ahead, I yield.
The bird sings out its song for men, and men vibrate in unison to help it sing.
Mm-hmm.
The ant constructs her home, the bee its sheltering comb, the spider weaves her web in flowers, breathes to them a spirit in their sweet perfume that gives them strength to toil.
Slow.
Now, men and birds and beasts and creeping things are deities made flesh. And how dare how dare men kill anything?
Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ. Man, that's why I said, man, some people think that's because they have a certain thought that they are above some things, man. If you can't handle the Holy Quran, divinely prepared by Prophet Noble Ali, you're not really mastering yourself. You really aren't. Go ahead, I yield, bro.
All right, it is cruelty that makes the world awry. When men have learned that when they harm a living thing, they harm themselves. They surely will not kill, nor cause a thing that Allah has made to suffer pain.
Indeed, indeed, that is true. So I get it. Sometimes certain insects and animals get on your nerves. You be like, man, fuck that animal. I'm serious, man. Oh man, I've been there. Go ahead, I yield.
All right, a lawyer said, I pray to Jesus. Tell who is this Allah you speak about? Where are his priests, his temples, and his shrines? And Jesus said, quote, the Allah I speak about is everywhere. He cannot be compassed with walls, nor hedged about with bounds of any kind. All people worship Allah, the One, but all the people see him not alike.
Correct.
This,
Correct. 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 Oh, and I yield.
this universal Allah is wisdom, will, and love.
Wow. Wow. Bruh.
Wisdom, will, and love.
And think about how we had a brief little, introduction, man, just talking about how, man, people don't even recognize, too, that since all is mind, and the first hermetic principle is mentalism, to even think wrongly about what it is that we have here that Prophet Noble Ali brought us is hurting oneself. I yield.
All men see not the triune Allah. One sees him as Allah of mights, another as Allah of thoughts, another as Allah of love. A man's ideal is his God, and so as man unfolds, his God unfolds. Man's God today, tomorrow is not God.
Look at that. So people call upon one thing and then they call upon something the next day, huh? Call upon one thing one day and then call upon something else, because God denotes to call upon. Period. God is within. It's not outside of you. It's not some imaginary being you have a relationship in the sky somewhere. Just even looking up, like you're talking up, is really you going with inside yourself, speaking to your higher self. Yo, all righty, I yield, man. I yield.
Right? Like you got to realize, okay, if you even want to do look above, you still have to see it within, right? Because you just spoke on the
Mm-hmm.
first Semitic, all is mine, and then the as within, so without. So it's always got to see the polarity, the dual nature. But we
Mm-hmm.
have only been trained to look up in the sky. Never said, hey man, look within, look within your heart.
Yeah, because that sky you're looking up to is really just a reflection of your higher self, which is
Hmm.
already within you. I yield, bro.
All right, let's see. The nations of the earth see Allah from different points of view, and so he does not seem the same to everyone.
That is true, because these different points of view is very interesting. And they're harmless when people are, you know, being kind about growing in their knowledge. It's harmful when they say things like, "Oh, Prophet Noble Dry Ali is just some dead brother, man. Stop riding the dead man's phallus." It's like, okay, so you're a necrophiliac, obviously, because you're talking about doing sexual things with someone who has transitioned out of their body, which has nothing to do with what we're ever saying when it comes to these lessons and this divinely prepared literature. You know what I mean? What happens is people are used to abusing themselves, and it all happens in the mind first, all the time, every time. And with that, I yield the floor.
Man names the part of Allah he sees, and this to him is all of Allah. And every nation sees a part of Allah, and every nation has a name for Allah. You
Mm-hmm.
Brahmins call him Parabrahm. In Egypt, he is Thoth, and Zeus is his name in Greece. Jehovah is his Hebrew name, but everywhere he is the causeless cause, the rootless root from which all things have grown.
Look at that. Looky, Astro Cookie. So why time never was when man was not. Because wherever you're observing what you may call time on one part of Earth, someone's not observing that, like right now, in the northern hemisphere, right? It's attached to the southern hemisphere, right? It's all Earth. But the northern hemisphere, it's winter. Southern hemisphere, it's summer. Time never was when man was not. See? Time, summer, never was in the northern hemisphere when people in the northern hemisphere are not in the southern hemisphere. Does that make sense now? Time never was when man was not. Okay, I yield. Go ahead, I yield, bro.
Hmm.
Islam.
When men are afraid of Allah and take him for a foe, they dress up other men in fancy garbs and call them priests.
Looky, Astro Cookie. Sheesh, man. Jesus quote ain't in yet. I don't think it into like 25, bro. He's still going in.
Spitting,
Still going in. Go ahead, bro. I yield.
and charge them to restrain the wrath of Allah by prayers. And when they fail to win his favor by their prayers, to buy him off with sacrifice of animals or birds.
Wow. So even when you're going to read that Old Testament and you like, oh, well, they were sacrificing land and all that. Well, that's because these are people who are spiritual idiots. I yield.
When man see Allah as one with him, as Father Allah, he needs no middleman, no priest to intercede.
Look at that. And again, for me, father is the process which mother chose. Allah is all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. But is that me not recognizing the causeless cause and the rootless root? Is that me just not seeing the law the same way as someone? No, I'm just saying I'm more of a get to the root. And it's funny too, man. It's gonna some people might think this next statement is very arrogant, but I don't care. Some of us are just born masters, and we know that we are. We don't call ourselves that. We just know it. Not only do we know it, we recognize that everyone is a born master. Everyone is born perfect. They're just here to be taught and reminded about their perfection and mastery. If they're willing and ready to let go of material consciousness and grasp hold of spiritual consciousness. Hey, yo.
He goes straight up to him and says, "My father got Allah." And then he lays his hand in Allah's own hand, and all is well.
Father, the process which mother chooses. God, to call upon. Allah, all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. Back to your zodiac constitution. I'm just going to always keep drawing these parallels, making these connections so you guys can start wrapping these things around in your mind. Because again, like I said, Seven Hills Star, we're the best. We're always inspiring people. Like I said, you wouldn't have half the so-called conscious community speakers if it wasn't for us being able to comprehend things being laid down by people like C. Freeman L. and Brother Tariq Bey. And then showing that we've thoroughly comprehended and we're not acting like, oh, that brother's so deep, he's speaking over my head with the metaphysics that C. Freeman L. and Tariq Bey. I don't know, man. Them brothers is deep, man. I got to try to put it in my own ways of understanding. But then here comes Brother Hasan. And then Brother Hasan has brothers. and we see this thing in a way where it's like we're just that divine council that has come to measure how far along the people are on this planet to see if they're ready really for the next things. And then it's gonna be hard because some people like you just a being like me, and you ain't no different. You ain't special. I'm so special. I'm so special, so special, so special. Actually, I really am. Just at the end of the day, I have to be here having a human experience with you. So, but at the same time, that's not going to, take away, the wisdom, will, and love that I am going to always keep sharing, irregardless of the fact that some people who are in their lower self may be offended by it. It is what it is. Yo, bro, it's fine.
Islam. And this is Allah. You are, each one, a priest, just for yourself. And sacrifice of blood Allah does not want.
Look at that. Wow. Why? Because why kill anything? Didn't it just say that earlier? Stop killing stuff. Yo. Oh, we got to make this sacrifice. You got to make what? You got to kill what for whom? You got to kill something for someone who doesn't want killing done? Stop it. Stop it. Calling it a sacrifice. Shut. The Tia Tsunami, don't get the fuck out of here. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
Just give your life in sacrificial service to all of life, and Allah is pleased.
Islam. And that's so funny. Sacrificial service to all of life, which is what you do during the Ekadashi fast, bro. There's no better way for this to have happened. Ekadashi fast is over as a minute ago, man. That is so amazing how this has lined up, man. Like, for those that are part of TVPAC, I know this moment we just had in doing this and how we're doing this. It is phenomenal. I yield, bro. Islam.
When Jesus had thus said, he stood aside. The people were amazed, but strove among themselves. Some said, he is inspired by Holy Brahm. And others said, he is insane. And others said, he is obsessed. He speaks as devils speak.
That's what, yo. That's what I was saying. People gonna say about us. You know, all we doing is really is being in harmony with nature. The universe is inspiring in our favor. I mean, it's conspiring in our favor and inspiring our minds in the words that we speak. I yield, bro. Islam.
But Jesus, or the I am identity, tarried not. Among the guests was one, a tiller of the soil, a generous soul, a seeker after truth, who loved the words that Jesus spoke, and Jesus went with him and his home abode.
Look at that. Out of all the people he spoke to,
One.
one.
Be like that. Better be that one though that's even more beneficial than all those others saying he's insane or he's obsessed. He speaks as a devil speak. Just that one, you know.
What's funny is we talked about that in the concept correction discussion yesterday, and I was rapping to bro, and I was like, yo, like, no matter how much I know, no matter how much I've shared, no matter how much we share, being Seven Hill Star, maybe it's good that I was able to get to speak to whomever I was get to be able to speak to, because sometimes it's only just one who's listening out of many. Only one is listening. And maybe that one is just enough. You know what I mean?
I'll take it. I'll take the one because I know that they are taking themselves serious and love themselves and are able to know that they are on the right path, but they might need to hear something outside of themselves in order for them to reflect back within themselves and be like, oh, yeah, okay, I get it. Great, thank you. You know, rather than 1,000 who really don't give a fuck, who are just there for something else and won't even really truly take the lessons as they're coming for. Like they might hear, but they would leave after that and go back to what they were doing. But if that one, they're going to truly change themselves and then take those words that the identity, I am identity spoke, and that the Akasha records that they received, and now give that to someone else to inspire someone else, right?
Word.
And that sacrificial service, you know, that selfless, unconditional service to all of life, which all of life is everything connected.
Word. I mean, bruh, this is beautiful. As always. I'm gonna go and check the chat, man. I know people is tuning in on TikTok, but let me go on to
Shout out to
YouTube
everybody
and
on
just
TikTok that's liked, watching, you know, share it, come back, you know, even go get your own copy of the Holy Quran. Um, you know, hit the follow. You can message me or Brother Hasan to join Prophet Noble Drawley University, which is free. You know, and there's plenty
right.
of stuff in there for you to further your studies or even begin your studies. If you're just beginning, like it doesn't matter if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. You know, we're all on that path, and we all have solved some and to continue improving. So yeah, shout out to y'all.
Mother Sahar says, peaceful greetings to all. Peaceful greetings to our beloved mother in whom about please. Mother Sahar. Brother Derek Blash Base, he says, peaceful greetings, everyone, and well said, my brothers. Indeed, Brother Derek. Indeed. Peaceful greetings to you also. Brother C. Thomas says, Islam, Islam. We know so many Brother Corys. It's like 3 Brother Corys we know off the break. Peaceful greetings, Islam, C. Thomas. And Mother Sahar says, indeed, just that one exclamation point, right? Questions, comments, and or suggestions going Twizzers. Right? All righty. No more questions, comments, and or suggestions going twice. Guys, we like to thank you all for joining us. All of you that observed a Kadashi fast,
You
you are a champion. I know I and my loved ones, we enjoyed it, so we'll be breaking our fast very soon. Um guys, this is beautiful. This has been great. What I'll say here is you guys know we do a lot. We have the my first astrology coloring book with astro aura cubes. Order it. Mirror Mirror AstroLiteracy session with Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey. Order it. Mental Magician Report with Brother Sean L. Order it. We are always accepting donations because every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we are freely giving ourselves. That's why you see over 400 videos on our YouTube channel. And we barely have 700. If no, we not even that. It's probably only like 680 something subscribers. We're definitely not clout chasing, I tell you that. It's definitely not a clout chase. It's definitely not for a YouTube check, I tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not. So with that being said, make sure you guys subscribe, donate, right? So 7hillstar.com can still be up, right? Because it might come to a point where, you know, if there's no 7hillstar.com, that's fine. Because what I and Brother Sean will probably be doing 9 times out of 10, if not, well, it's what we was doing before we got started. We're going to be working on certain documents and just move forward on having these trustees be who they're supposed to be. So all this studying that has been done collectively over the last 10 years, it's time for it to get set in order, put in order, letters sent to the proper trustees. You see what I'm saying? So that we can hold these people accountable, no matter who they are, all the way from the so-called White House cabinet. We know the United States has been dissolved, but as people still assuming certain positions. And it's like, hey, are you guys really just some cabal that's feigning to be something for the people that's really just vampires? Or are you actual public trustees for the benefactors and beneficiaries that are those like myself and Brother Sean? It's no other way to really question these things. So what do your donations do? Your donations keep the website up. Your donations also help to maintain a way to correspond with us via telephony. And first and foremost, it helps to make sure we have the sustenance and food that we need. Eleemosynary is why we always call the tuition eleemosynary. It's an eleemosynary tuition every time. It's always been donation based, period. Even when you guys go to get a class or you go on the website and be like, oh, they want this much for a class. Guys, we're doing everything custom ourselves. No matter how many elders we've approached and been like, look, let's do this like this and help to assist and knock things out this way so X, Y, and Z can happen. Shit, you know what? Like, it's kind of like, you know, oh, you got the lessons. Go ahead, do your thing. You can. And remember, we're not the ones throwing on bulletproof vests and military gear and talking about we're going camping. And we're not some consular general stuff. Like, we're not this fictitious stuff. We're researching the root of things and being like, we just got to be ourselves. If we're ourselves, benefactor and beneficiary, correct? We're being ourselves. And all we got to do is hold the people that are public trustees that are sitting the office seat that's called public trust and hold them to their obligation. That's it. And but what if they don't, you know, act right and do what they got to do? Then eventually they have to be aggressively removed by some other trustees that want to do their job for real. So we're at a point now where we've done enough of sharing information, inviting people to lawful living so they can get the exercise, especially Moorish Americans can get the exercise that they need. We've been given a lot of things on RV Bay publications. We know we don't have the continuation of going over things as a Moorish community with those from RV Bay or with Brother Taj and Mother Roz. We don't have that. It's no knock to them. We're just identifying what it is. And what we're not going to do is be like, oh, well, don't air out your dirty laundry like that online. That's not dirty laundry we're airing out. That's the truth, the second principle. That's why people have been getting invited to lawful wedding. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to do things in a secret squirrel kind of fashion. It's no offense, it's no disrespect. If you're taking it as offense and disrespect, then there's something wrong with your ears. Period. All right. So with that being said, we'd like to thank you all for joining us. We're going to get to our invocation out. And always remember, the reason why I said all of that is because we want you guys to be yourselves and
get your services.
Donate. Indeed. All right, guys. So with that being said, we appreciate you all. We're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index in the middle on the right. We're going to face east, which is metaphysically symbolic to going within, and stand with our feet on a 45-degree angle. All right. You can repeat after me either aloud or in your hearts. Islam. Islam, Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. It was Holy Prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Ameen. All righty, guys. Make sure you show up by the millions like you did for Cat Williams. Ooh-wee. That's right. Support the real. Anyway, with that being said, guys, we appreciate you all. When you go to break your Ekadashi fast, if you haven't already, make sure you enjoy yourself, right? And remember, the Ekadashi Titi fast is twice a month, right? Some will say the 11th day. To be specific, it is the 11th 12-degree set of lunar transit. All right. So from new moon, 12 degrees, 11 times. When you get to the 11th set of 12 degrees, that's Ekadashi. Full moon moves 12 degrees, 11 times. That 11th set of 12 degrees is Ekadashi again, right? So you have the new moon to full moon Ekadashi TT fast, which is known as the Shukla Paksha Ekadashi Upavas. And then you have the full moon to new moon Ekadashi TT fast, which is known as the Krishna Paksha Ekadashi Upavas. All right. So with that being said, guys, Mother Sahar says, sincere gratitude indeed, beloved mother. Gratitude indeed to ye also. And with that being said, guys, enjoy yourselves. We love you all. And when you go to rest and recharge, make sure you rest and recharge well. It's where we say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace.